Welcome, my pretties, to the Halloween episode.
Whoa.
This is Gemma from Talking Codswallop podcast, and I am here today with my ghoulish and wonderful friend.
Hello, I'm James Jr.
No, you're not. You're James.
Fine.
Yes. So I'm not going to carry on speaking like that, guys.
It's going to ruin your throat.
Yeah. It made me feel a little bit raspy, I'm not going to lie. But yes, so this is our Halloween episode. So this week are not going to go into our usual Codswallop or anything like that and find out how we've been. To be honest, we've been exactly the same as last week's episode that you actually heard that was the spontaneous one, because it's not been that long since we recorded, guys.
Stop giving them behind the scenes secrets.
Oh, you know me, I like to be upfront and honest. So, as you probably noticed from the title, this week we are going to be discussing the Addams Family versus the Munsters. Now, I have done research on the Addams Family, and James has done research on the Munsters, which is why me and James work perfectly together, because when I suggested the idea, he's smiling at me, guys. When I suggested the idea, he instantly came back and said, I want to do the Munsters. And I was so happy because I really wanted to do the Addams Family. So that is how well we two work together. So,
unlike Redacted, who doesn't answer his phone.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it would have been spooky if he'd have been here.
Indeed.
So we've each done a bit of research into the Addams Family. So we'll just go through what we've researched and also discuss our thoughts and opinions on it. Because although it's a versus episode, I personally really enjoyed both of these programs, and I think, is that the case for you as well, James?
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing this just before we started recording, that whilst we are calling the episode a versus, we're not really pitting the two against one another, because it's just literally the only thing that compares the two is two spooky families in a TV show. That is the only thing, really, that they share. Once you get past that, it's an entirely different thing, which is what makes it wonderful. So whilst we have called it a versus, we're actually just basically singing the praises of both, because they are fantastic things, both fantastic shows in their own right, and it's spooky season, so it's what else are we going to do?
Exactly. Well, I mean, there was other ideas, but this seemed a less complicated. No. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, we had one idea, and we only ever have good ideas. We never, ever have bad ideas.
Oh, look, and Things just made an appearance as well.
Rah-rah. We can blame him for the snake episode.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to start with the Addams Family, because alphabetically it's the first one.
Creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream, the Addams Family.
Neat. Sweet. Petite.
So get a witch's shawl on, a broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family.
Interesting things that I found out that may be common knowledge, but I didn't know it. So it's going to be interesting to see if James knew about it. And also, you know, for you guys as well, you may not have known about it as well. But originally it started as a cartoon by a gentleman called Charles Addams, and it was for the New Yorker. And that started in 1938. Basically, they were drawn as an eccentric old money clan who delighted in the macabre. Sorry. Is that how you say it, macabre?
Again, depends where you come from.
Okay.
But
So
it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, okay, cool. And the grotesque, and seemingly unaware or unconcerned that other people find them bizarre or frightening. So I love the fact from 1938, this has remained their story throughout, all of the years up until, 2025 with the Wednesday series.
And still going strong as well. That's the best thing is, like, with the Addams Family, they've never had to change for the times.
No, exactly.
Like, even in modern day, the core concept is so strong that they don't have to adapt it.
No, exactly. They've become a family home friendly type thing, isn't it? It's like it's every family has seen a version of the Addams Family in some way or another, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they are a generational thing. I mean, I was too young for the original TV show, so my introduction was in the 90s with the movies. And let's face it, Raul Julia is just Gomez. He's
Yes.
superb. He is absolutely fantastic. I wish we'd have gotten more from him, but I'm grateful for what we did get of him.
Yeah.
But
no, 100%. I agree.
It is amazing how throughout generations of families can experience have experienced the Addams Family in that it has prevailed and continued. Like you said, we've had you had the comic strip, then it went to the TV show, then it went to the movies, and now we're kind of going back with the Wednesday show, giving us another glimpse into it. It is almost becoming like it's almost wholesome.
Yeah.
The number of people who look at Tisha and Gomez,
Yeah,
and are like, "That's the relationship I want." It's weird. It's weird. It's creepy. It's unconventional, but it's healthy.
absolutely. And you can see how much they both love and adore each other.
And the kids.
Yeah. I mean, the kids, they hate each other. Let's put it that way.
That's the funny thing. They torture each other.
Yeah.
But I would genuinely believe that they would die for one another, like if someone else. Because if I remember correctly, in Addams Family Values, which is the second film, like basically Wednesday goes to war with all the preppy girls because they make fun of
Pugsley.
And it's like, no, I'm the only person who gets to hurt my brother, not you.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
burn this shit to the ground.
Which is quite relevant to just purely for me, but I assume it probably be the same for yourself and other people as well. But I've got that almost mindset as well that I'm never going to torture my family, but I will pick on them or tease them and laugh at them and stuff like that, and I expect them to do the same to me. But unless you're in a close group of people, if you're an outsider sort of picking on somebody inside my family, I will unleash fury on you.
Yeah, I've said this before. Like I have my sister's blind, and I've always made the joke of I'm the only one who gets to move the furniture around to confuse her. Anyone else does it, and I'll batter them. But I'm allowed to do it whenever I want because I'm the baby, so I get away with murder.
Yeah, almost. I'm the baby too, so I also do get away with murder. They have to love us, don't they?
They do, because we're the cute ones. We're the last chance.
Exactly.
They clearly mucked up with the previous ones. That's why they kept going till us.
I don't believe this, Lee. I know you listen now, so I don't believe this.
Comments of my co-host are not shared.
My brother is called Lee, by the way, just so that's
Hi,
clear.
Lee.
Hi.
Gemma says you smell all the time.
Oh, he does. He does smell all the time. So,
anyway, we're talking about the Addams Family.
We are, yeah. Sorry, I had to just point out as well that I am the favourite. So, Anyway, go back to the comic. There was 150 standalone single panel comics, which were published between 1938 and 1988 when the actual creator died. So that is quite a long run for, for the newspaper there, for the New Yorker. So that was really interesting. I found that out because I didn't actually know that it started as a comic first, and I saw some of the pictures as well. And I'm thinking of putting together like a Tim Burton tattoo, and I'm almost tempted now because I've seen like those because he's got
very similar styling.
Yeah, and also because he's had to do with, like, obviously the Addams Family in the sense of Wednesday. I'm thinking I might add those characters on as well as a little tribute. But yeah, so it's all up in my head at the moment. So the family remained unnamed until the first live action TV series, which was in 1964. So that's when we had the black and white version. And I, as a kid, used to watch the reruns of that program. And I used to absolutely adore it. It was amazing to watch something in black and white, first of all. And I think up until sort of I think it was probably about 7 or 8 that I was sort of watching them, and up until teenage years, things like that, really. Because what it's like with TV, it was on a Saturday morning. If it wasn't like a kids program, then it was those things that were being rerun on one of the other channels. Because in those days, children, we only had 4 channels.
Back in my day.
But no, I used to love watching them. It was just so interesting and baffling to me, that this thing existed. And you had Carolyn Jones, who played Morticia, and John Astin, who was Gomez, and Ken Weatherwax. So I've not actually heard of some of these people, but
Fun fact,
yep,
the Gomez actor is Sean Austin's father,
that's what I
as in
thought.
Samwise.
Yes. I did think that because of the
It
name.
is-
I
it
did
is
think
the same Austin family.
Yeah.
Family. I believe Sean Austin was actually adopted into the family, which is why he kept the stage name. I think. I'll have to double check.
Yeah, you have a double check as that. Yeah, also had Ted Cassidy as Lurch, but he was also Thing as well, which always makes me giggle. The fact that Thing, which is, God, people have got to actually know the characters, I guess. But if you don't know, Thing is a hand. Okay, so just crawls around, getting up to mischief.
Yeah, he is a dismembered hand. So he's
He is.
physically he is just the right hand, I think. I think it's the right hand.
Yeah, so he is just a dismembered hand, and I think that's it's a fun thing as well. And you've also got Cousin It as well as one of the main characters, and Grandmama as well.
Just to correct, biological father.
Biological father.
So,
Okay,
straight bloodline. John Austin. John Astin is Sean Astin's dad.
great. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so seeing this family the first time on screen, you've got Uncle Fester as well. You've got all of these characters that are the weirdest family in the world, but it was just absolutely fascinating to watch. Just from I can't remember exactly what age I started watching it, but I just absolutely loved it. And the concept of it being in black and white, even though that was normal for when it was originally released, but the concept for me of it being black and white actually made it even more sort of spooky and fun.
That's something that the Munsters shared.
Yeah.
The Munsters was released in 1964
Mm-hmm.
and only ran for 2 years. So 64 to 66.
Yeah.
So it was out the same time as Batman, the original
Ooh.
series of Batman.
Yeah.
Now, if you think how Technicolor the original Batman series is,
Mm-hmm.
and then you realise that, again, they purposely filmed the Munsters in black and white, and they had to do it in such a way where if you actually look at the real life set, the set is actually really brightly coloured, almost like to the ludicrous degree, because it was the only way they could get the grayscale gradient right.
Yeah.
But when they flipped the footage from colour to black and white. So it's actually a really bright, colourful house. I think that the original house, I think, is pink.
Oh, wow.
Like the outside of the Munsters mansion was actually pink.
Yeah.
And they had to paint it that way so that it would show up a really light grey when they switched it to the black and white film.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? That's, but sort of behind the scenes sort of stuff. But yeah, because they obviously must have done this on the Addams Family as well, with that sense as well.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because see, that sort of thing really fascinates me. I love the sort of behind the scenes type ideas and things like that as well. From current knowledge. It's like when we watched oh god, what was the superhero one that was
Narrow it down, Gemma, come on.
it was a TV series, and she was she'd taken over I'll Google it. So just quickly after quick Google, everybody, because I don't want James to out me. So no,
I would never.
He would. In recent years, obviously with WandaVision, we've seen how, like it goes from black and white to colour, and it was sort of, showing how it was kind of done in that way as well. So yeah, I find it really, really interesting.
I was sadly too young for the Addams Family show, and they never really ran the reruns because we got the reruns of the Munsters in the 90s, because I distinctly remember 6 o'clock, BBC Two, they'd have an episode of The Simpsons, and then afterwards there was something else. Now, this varied depending on day of the week. Like, I think it was Robot War on Fridays.
Oh,
but one of them was, I think, again, it was either like half an hour filler in like 10 o'clock in the morning, or it was sometimes at 6 o'clock at night. They'd run the Munsters. And I think one of the best things about the Munsters was, very much like the Addams Family, it was played straight in the sense of, this is not like the adventures that they went on were perfectly normal. It just so happened that the Munsters were a family of literal monsters.
Yes.
It was textbook sitcom.
Yeah.
Stereotypical family sitcom. Working dad, mum stays at home, they've got 2.5 kids, or in this case, they have one son, they have granddad lives with them who's a bit kooky and has loads of money-making schemes that usually go wrong.
Yeah.
And they had the straight woman who, in the Munsters case, was their, I think it was niece who came to stay with them.
It was their niece. Yeah, I do remember that now you're saying that.
But the whole point, the way the Munsters worked was, it was put through on, I believe it was CBS.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, CBS was owned by Universal. And Universal have something called their Universal Monster Universe. They've been currently trying to bring it back with the Tom Cruise Mummy film. They were Jekyll and Hyde. They're all the kind of literary monsters. Frankenstein, Dracula, all those kind of creatures. They call it the Universal Monster Universe. So this was kind of a play on it. That's why Herman Munster looks like Frankenstein's monster. He's not, but that's where the king, like every character in the Munsters is basically like a send up. So Herman is Frankenstein's monster, but he works a normal day job.
Yes.
Loads of the episodes were based on him getting jobs on like builders' yards and freaking everyone out by being 7 foot tall and being able to lift up big steel girders that would normally need a crane. And then there'd be some slapstick comedy in regards to it. Lily, who was obviously the matriarch, she is the bride of Dracula.
Yeah.
Grandpa himself is meant to be a send-up of Dracula, and their son is a werewolf.
Yes.
And then the irony was their niece was completely human, completely normal. And again, every monster element was just merely a unique quirk for the family.
Yeah.
Like they were just played as a normal married family, much like the Addamses. They were a little bit weird, but they were still a perfectly normal family. Like it's been revealed that they were Herman and Lily have been married since 1865.
Oh, wow.
But that's kind of, it's like it doesn't matter. They're just it was just their unique twist on the family sitcom was, yeah, it's a family full of monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, Herman was so lovable. Again, his monstrous strength was played off as clumsiness, and I remember there were scenes where he'd like put his foot through the floor because like he had this quirk. Like one of the catchphrases was him getting overexcited,
Yes.
like a kid, and he'd be like, and then at the times where he'd be like stomping his feet on the floor, and he'd go through the floorboard, forgetting that he's a giant monster.
Yeah, and that obviously adds in the comedy value as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're going to laugh at that part as well, aren't you?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
The actor who played him, again, casting was perfection. The actor who played Herman was Fred Gwynne, and he was absolutely superb in the role. Just absolutely smashed it. Like, and again, it helped that he was enormous.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that does help as well.
This is what we say when we're not trying to be like smashing like we're not trying to make them, like force them to be, this one is definitely better than the other one. They are both unique in the best way. That's why we love them. It just that happens that they fall under the same umbrella as spooky people.
Yeah. And I suppose the only other thing is that, like I mentioned earlier, that the Addams Family is a bit more of a household name than the Munsters is. Unfortunately, the Munsters kind of didn't really follow suit, did they? They didn't actually, other than the Rob Zombie film, which I've not seen, to be fair, so I can't comment.
Haven't either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, again, they said that themselves. They were like really disappointed that they got such a short run.
Yeah.
Because that's what upset me as well. Because I was like, in theory, like if according to the time scale, it was again Batman 66 basically took their audience.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Same similar format, same length of episodes, but you've got the powerhouse of DC behind you, and Batman was even more of a household name because of the kids. Kids were reading DC comics. Kids would make their parents watch Batman.
Yeah.
So they got all the ratings. Whereas the Munsters, again, when your source material is a 200-year-old novel at this point with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, you're gonna struggle out. But I have to admit, I do like the fact that it's still a cult favorite. Again, much like whilst the Addams is becoming more mainstream, there will always be a cult following of Munsters fans. Again, as you say, like Rob Zombie, Herman Munster's car appeared in the video for Rob Zombie's Dragula.
Yes.
That is the Munsters car.
Yeah.
And yes, he did cast his wife as Lily in the film he made.
But he's always going to do that. He's always going to do that, isn't he? I mean, she is a beautiful lady, but she's not the greatest at acting, if I'm honest.
No. Then again, Tim Burton's no different. Looking at you, Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp.
Yes, exactly.
And Christina Ricci.
Although I do like talking about that as well, is I do like the fact that with the series of Wednesday, which is obviously out on Netflix at the moment.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, no, by neither. But I do love the fact that they kept Christina Ricci in that series, because obviously she was, in my opinion, the original Wednesday because of the time period of when I was sort of growing up watching it properly. Christina Ricci is my Wednesday, so to speak. Yeah, so I really liked the nod of the fact that they kept her into the TV series Wednesday as well, even though she's not actually playing Wednesday. So, I like that.
For me, I do and I don't.
Yeah?
But I don't want to say why, because I don't want it to be a spoiler. I know there are people still out there who may not have even seen Series 1 of Wednesday, and it's kind of there's a big spoiler in regards to Christina Ricci's character.
Yes, there is.
In the first series. So I won't say why I don't like her, but essentially because of what happens, it's kind of why it felt a bit like it was too much of a dangle it in front of us and then
snatch it away.
Not really fulfill it.
Yeah.
Not really fulfill it the way that I would have liked to. Again, I still think it was a good series, but I'd rather rewatch the original films than watch Wednesday again.
I agree with you there. I'd say that Wednesday, as much as I love Tim Burton, and I really do, I love all of his animations especially. like Nightmare Before Christmas. That's my biggest one that I've always loved. But as much as I love Tim Burton films and TV programs, I would say that Wednesday, unfortunately, is probably the weakest version of the Addams Family, under that umbrella of the Addams Family. Unfortunately, that's no reflection on the actors. The man who plays Gomez in that series, I really can't see him as Gomez.
I'm so glad you said that, because I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that, because I remember when they first cast him and a lot of people were saying, oh, I'm not really seeing it. And then again, a lot of people were like, well, you've got to look at the source material, because the current casting of Gomez in Wednesday,
Yeah.
he is a lot closer to the original comic strip
Yeah.
Gomez.
Yeah, I suppose.
The original Gomez was a larger gentleman who was because it was a play on the height as well. So it was meant to be that, he was short and fat. Morticia was ridiculously tall and basically just legs with a head.
Yeah.
Which, I ain't complaining, but that was meant to be the point.
Yeah.
So I do understand that it was nice that Tim Burton was like being a bit more respectful to the source material. But as I mentioned before, nobody puts Raul Julia in the corner. He became he completely twisted Gomez into that is the perfect version of that slightly more trim version. Just as mental. It was for me. It was the eyes.
Yeah.
Gomez, even when he was smiling and he seemed like he had the crazy eyes, which was perfect for what he needed to be. Whereas the current actor, again, as much as I love him, I think my biggest issue is I've noticed that his accent kind of pulls me out of it a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that it's not his fault that he has such a strong accent. Luis Guzman, that was it. I think he looks great, but he's played so many typecast characters before this.
Yes.
I'm kind of struggling to break that association of I'm so used to him playing X character, because that's all his characters have kind of been like that. This is such a step out for him.
Yeah, it's kind of villainous characters, isn't it?
Well, he's always kind of played like villainous, unlikable characters.
Yeah.
Whereas with Gomez has a darker edge to him, but it's still meant to be lovable.
Yes.
And I think he does do a good job. And my God, does Catherine Zeta-Jones look fantastic as Morticia? She's a fantastic Morticia. Her accent needs a hell of a lot of work, but
yeah. But no, I agree. But at the same time, Angelica Hudson is still my favorite Morticia. But I have to say, though, Joanna Lumley plays an absolutely fabulous version of Grandmama. I've been waiting to say that. A fab version. No, but she does do a really fantastic job. I really enjoyed her as well in it.
It was an interesting casting choice, and it worked out, because that was one of those where it was either going to go horribly wrong or it was going to be perfect.
Yeah, no, but definitely.
My question to you is, well, I mean, this was always my issue, was Yvonne De Carlo, who played Lily in the Munsters.
Oh, okay,
I think she takes it on the hotter looking goth wife. Angelica Hudson is here, she does a great job. But Lily, Yvonne just creeps a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but having that drop-dead gorgeous matriarch it's certainly a winning formula for both of them.
Yeah. But also the other side of it as well, taking away the fact the Addams Family and the Munsters slightly, but also from a person who likes the alternative music and things like that as well. It's almost like it's these programs are giving you a acknowledgement that it's okay to be yourself in these as well. So it's like if you like heavy metal music, and that some of those are like the Munsters, like some of those bands are still underground, whereas there's also obviously the more popular metal bands like Slipknot would be the Addams Family, for example. Most people know who Slipknot are. But then there is, I can't think of the underground stuff, but in comparison, so it's a very similar topic in a way, but also for the people who are watching and the people who are listening, you've got your place where you're not a freak, so to speak, air quotes. And I wouldn't ever call anybody a freak anyway, but you know what I mean? That's a typical term that people probably hear, is what I'm saying there. But
I think one of the best things that both kind of portrayed was neither family gave a shit about what anyone else thought about them.
no, exactly.
And that was the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Was like they played it off. Both families, like there were characters who would try and point it out, and everyone else would just like everyone within the family would just be like, whatever, just hand wave it away, like we don't care. And I think that was the good thing about it as well, was it was the positive reinforcement of regardless of what was on the outside, they loved each other, and that was what mattered.
Yes. And like you said, it's like a very wholesome message, isn't it? Very wholesome.
And what always surprised me is, again, like, I don't know about you with the Munsters, but with the Addams Family, sorry, but I was genuinely surprised when I found out there's only 2 seasons of the Munsters.
Yes.
So it's 70 episodes total, and if I remember correctly, I think it's one made for TV film where they tried to kind of bring it back in the 80s, and that was it.
It does seem absolutely baffling, but also as the other side of the comparison as well, with the Addams Family, with the live action TV series was started in 1964, and that was only 2 seasons as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, the cast and crew got brought back when they did a Halloween with the new Addams Family.
As a kind of cross promotion, yeah, I remember. So it was like the film cast met the TV. Yeah.
Yeah. They also appeared on Scooby-Doo as well. I quite like that. But yeah, I mean, from our knowledge, it does probably start, with the Addams Family values, that onwards, basically, I'd say, with our age groups. I know there's 6 years difference, but still.
I think we could squeeze in the original Addams Family film as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's a good point as well, yeah. Yes, because that came in at 1990. But yeah, Christina Ricci is always going to be my Wednesday, I think. And also, just so you know, Wednesday's name comes from Wednesday's child is full of woe. From the nursery rhyme, Monday's child. Just so everybody knows. It's my last little bit of research there, so...
Yeah. I mean, I will always love I think the casting for the Addams Family is perfect. I love Christopher Lloyd as
yes,
Uncle Fester.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, he did an amazing job.
Yeah, it really suits him. Just like, but I think he's just one of those people who's mad scientist just suits him really well.
Yeah. He takes on his character and becomes it almost, doesn't he? But not in the sort of psychotic way that some actors and actresses are method actors and things like that. But he just blends and becomes the character, so that it's like, although you think, oh yeah, Christopher Lloyd, oh yeah, Doc from Back to the Future, but you also think, oh yeah, he was Uncle Fester as well, So
yeah. Well, it's the same with the Munsters. Like, I will always see Fred Gwynne as Herman, even though he's got a very, very long casting list of other, like, he's been in other big shows, but they were way before my time. Was the bit of the issue. Like,
yeah.
He would appear in things like the one that rings to mind for me is Phil Silver.
Mm-hmm.
He is an old school US kind of. It was a bit like he was the equivalent of like the late night talk show host, but he also had a variety show, so he'd have different characters and sketches, and a lot of the cast was in that as well. But the last thing that Herman,
I was going to say, sorry. So I guess that's a bit like, is it SMTV or something? That's what's the Saturday Night Live, isn't it?
SNL.
SNL,
yeah,
that's it.
SMTV was Saturday morning TV, which is where we had Anton Deck and Kat Deely.
Ah, yes. Okay, that was our version, but the fun version.
That was the kids' version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was it. But like The last film role that Fred Gwynne had was he was in My Cousin Vinny. He plays a judge.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But everyone will always see him as Herman. And again, it's same with Al Lewis, who played Grandpa Munster. Again, he's got a big laundry list of credits, but we'll always be Grandpa Munster because he nailed the role.
Yeah, exactly. Even down to like the child who played I've forgotten the name, but the
Eddie.
child, the werehorse.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie Munster.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll probably Google him and find out he's in prison or something because, sometimes these things happen. But, he's still, when you look at Eddie Munster, you instantly think of him, don't you? You think of that character, don't you? So
good news. He's alive and he's not in prison. He's a musician.
Oh, fantastic. That's good news.
So that's it. He stepped away from acting and he's now in the music business.
Oh, fantastic. Well, there you go.
So
has he sung any songs that we might know?
The only credit he's got that I can find, like just quickly Googling, is it's a song called I Am John 5.
Okay.
And it's only a credit for being in the music video. I don't know if it's a credit for being in actually being in the music business.
Ah, right, okay.
I think one of the big reasons that like they've both stuck around and endearing is it's pop culture. They're both still referenced.
Yes.
Like I remember Eddie Munster being made fun of in loads of TV shows, even nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I know, I don't know if you've heard of a comedian called Shane Gillis. He's very popular at the moment. Came up through YouTube, and he's got a TV show. And even I was watching one of the short clips on YouTube, and even he was making a Munsters reference because they'd just done a Halloween episode, so they all came in costume.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Yeah.
And he was taking the mick about he'd come dressed as George Washington, and his colleague had come dressed up as he thought he'd come dressed as Mel Gibson from The Patriot, but it was a really bad wig and stuff. And Shane Gillis just went, "You look like Eddie from the Munsters." And they actually brought up the picture, like in the show, he brings up a picture of the actor's name is Butch Patrick.
Yeah,
and they actually brought up a picture. So it's like I think that's what makes it so endearing is that they are a big staple in pop culture, and because they've got such a almost as you alluded to before, a big underground following. Like they weren't mainstream for the time, but that's what endeared them to so many others was that they were made, regardless of the fact that they weren't mainstream, they were still made, which gives everyone else a chance. It's like, well, if they can make this TV show, I've got a chance of, finding happiness being me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what endears both of the shows. This is why I said it's going to be neither of us are going to be able to say one over the other.
No, 100%.
They both had the same goal and achieved it brilliantly.
Yeah.
In that they brought people, they provided entertainment without isolating anyone, without, making fun of a certain group or anything. It was just, they're quirky, it's funny, enjoy.
The kooky and the spooky, the Addams Family, da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
And the Munsters. Sorry, I can't remember the... There we go.
It didn't really have lyrics. It was more just like an upbeat bop.
Yeah. And also, I think I actually might go and watch the Rob Zombie version of the Munsters, even though it's had really bad feedback. At least he tried to bring it back.
Again, I feel like the issue with that is, the problem he had was he made a prequel.
Yeah.
So prequels are always dangerous territory to begin with.
Yeah.
Because, you've always got to remember, whenever you write a prequel, you're filling in a gap so that everyone knows what's going to happen at the end. It's why, big fight scenes don't work. This is why, to give an example, I really didn't like the new Kenobi show.
Okay.
Because they kept teasing Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader. And I kept trying to point out to people and they were like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see this happen." I was like, why? We know what's going to happen. Episode 4 is still a thing. We know that they don't see each other for another 20 years. And clearly, no one's going to die. The stakes are not there. And I think that was the problem
it.
with the Rob Zombie one, was one, you have to get the tone right. And I don't think Rob made it more of a dark comedy than a flat out comedy.
Yeah.
Because the original Munsters is almost cheesy in its comedy, in that it's, will Herman lose his job? Will he get it? Can he keep another job? Because that was always the thing. It was a bit like Homer. It was like, how does he still have a job? Herman kept losing his, so it was kind of, the subplot was always, does Herman keep his job this week? And I think that's that kind of comedy Rob's never done, and it's very difficult to change your style up that drastically. So I think that's one of the reasons it failed, was because it's like, we kind of want to keep it cheesy. Like with the Addams Family, it's always kind of been slightly dark.
Yes.
When it hit its peak, it went into that slightly dark element of, like, you know, Gomez sword, like, dueling with the financial advisor. That's how they talk and have meetings.
Yeah,
like, it opens up with it. It's like, what's that over there? And he throws his suitcase at him before he picks up a sword. It's funny. It's hilarious when they do it, and it's played for laughs.
Yeah.
But it is that darker element. Honestly, I think Rob Zombie would have made a good Addams Family film.
Yeah, he probably would. If you think about the other films that Rob Zombie's done, like A House of a Thousand Corpses, to name one, like, he has more focused on the horror side of things, and, you know, the Halloween remake, which I didn't mind it, but the original was better, in my opinion. It's hard for me to say because I love Rob Zombie so much. You know, but then I've pissed on Tim Burton earlier, so I may as well piss on Rob Zombie as well.
Well, no, I mean, I think this is the irony of Tim Burton. I think would make a fantastic Munsters series.
Yeah,
and Rob Zombie, I think, would have made the better choice for the Addams Family, to make it a little more darker, but still have that the black comedy element of it. You know, keep it really dark humor.
Yeah,
that would have suited Rob Zombie more. Whereas, like, Wednesday, I think Tim Burton's not dark enough to make Wednesday a series, but Rob Zombie could have done. But Tim Burton could have made a really wholesome Munsters with the right casting. I think he could have done the Munsters better.
I agree. I think also, if I recall, but I might be wrong because this is just me trying to remember something, but I also think that Rob Zombie came up against a lot of people trying to change his script and things like that, wasn't it, as well? In the end, I don't think it was fully his project. I think it was actually his name was stuck to something that wasn't actually fully his work.
Yeah, it was very neutered. It was a very neutered thing. And again, I think that was the problem of, because a studio still owns the rights, like CBS still owns the rights to the Munsters, as does Universal, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, it falls under the Universal Monster universe. Yeah. The literary monsters. So it's kind of a bit more of a delicate balancing act, whereas Wednesdays technically, I think, falls under Disney. I
think it does now. I don't know, because it's on Netflix, so I don't know if it actually... It's not on Disney Plus, because obviously if it fell under Disney, then it would be airing on Disney. So I know that it was originally aired on ABC, but so I'm not 100. I haven't looked at that, so I don't know.
Who knows how any of this works? It's all silly American things.
Exactly. We'll just sit over here with our lovely little series instead of seasons.
Confuse all our American listeners with proper grammar.
I know. Bless them. Yeah. Have you got anything else that you wanted to add?
I want to finish on a positive note of stop listening to us and go and watch either one. You're going to enjoy both of them. Don't make us pick.
No, exactly. No, we're not going to do it. Because, you know what, I was thinking of putting a poll up to find out who voted for, like, the Addams Family and the Munsters, you know, that sort of thing. Then I thought to myself, like you just said, why do I want somebody to have to pick between the two? It should always be the both. So, yeah. I'm going to wrap this episode up like a beautiful mummy, all in bandages, nice and tight and snug and bug in a rug.
This is what I have to put up with, tadpoles.
I know.
Puns are awful.
It's not that bad. It could be as bad as Redacted is the worst.
It could be worse. It could be worse. Small
Right.
mercies.
Yeah.
Until next time, tadpoles.
I have been Gemma.
And I have been James.
Happy Halloween!
Go away. Boom.
Bum. Bum.
I'm sorry. I am in that mood.
That's all right. Bum. That's all right. It starts the episode off well, doesn't it? But that's not going to stay in. So
Oh.
no, because it's supposed to be spooky. This one because it's Halloween.
All right. Ooh, bum. Spooky bum.
Maybe I'll tag that on at the end.
Yeah. Hang on. Give it a pause. We'll do an isolated one, so I can just go. We can just have this at the end. Spooky bum.
You need to start laughing into your microphone as well, by the way, because it doesn't pick up on your when you laugh.
No,
like...
I don't make a noise.
Oh, don't you?
No, I'm like Muttley. I laugh silently, and then it's the guffaw of me breathing afterwards. It's like, I just sound like that. There is no noise to record.
Yeah. Well, in that case, that explains a lot of things. I'm glad that I'm still funny.
You are funny. I'm just, I just don't laugh. I have to fake it, which is worse.
Yeah.
Because then it sounds obliviously fake.
Yeah.
So then everyone thinks, oh, you're just taking the piss. I'm not. I'm genuinely laughing.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.